Hi everyone, welcome to the family table. My name is Cathy and I am so excited to let you know we are going into season 3. Believe it or not, it's been 3 years since we started doing the family table. What we're going to do this year to kind of liven things up, we're going to go around the world. We're going to have different recipes from different nationalities and other cultures and different things to kind of like spice up your life. It's been 3 years. We're going to do something different and we're going to go on board now that we're moving forward. So let me start season 3. Hi, welcome to the family table. On this episode, we are going to do a mac and cheese bar. With graduations coming up and different parties that people have at their house, a mac and cheese bar, at least everybody likes that. So we're going to do the mac and cheese first, and then I'm going to show you different things you could put as additives. Now, we did have a mac and cheese bar at one of my granddaughter's party, and we had obviously the mac and cheese, and then we had several different additives. Now, bacon, linguiça, sausage, peppers and onions, and whatever is on your mind, you can have this. Now we're going to put 3 different cheeses, or actually 4, so we're going to put also a cream cheese in our mac and cheese. And again, that's something too that you can customize to your benefit. Right now I have a pot of water boiling over here, waiting for my it to boil so I can add the mac and cheese. So it's elbow macaronis. I mean, if you want to spice it up and use a different kind of pastas, I guess you can, but my family, they think if it's not elbow macaroni, then it's not macaroni. I can't get them to understand the concept that it's the shape of the pasta, not how the ingredients in the pasta. So I gave up. If you're going to have macaroni like American chop suey, I have to use the elbow macaroni. So we're going to get ready for the pasta water to go. I am going to add some salt to the pasta water because you should always add salt to the pasta water. Now, with this too, after it boils and we cook the noodles, we are actually going to save some of the pasta water. When I make anything to do with spaghetti or anything that's got pasta in it, I do have a little bit of the pasta water. Sometimes I actually put it in a cup to use, but when I drain it, there's always a little bit left over. A lot of people do that. It helps with your pasta. Ooh, that's hot. So let me get that done. I have my strainer ready to go in to drain my pasta. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this little Dutch oven. It's a little one, but we're just going to melt all the cheese and the good stuff in here. So in this pot, we are going to put in our butter. We're going to melt the butter. It is 5 tablespoons. When I have butter, I always have 1 pound of it ready. It just sits out on the counter. Butter really doesn't have to go in the fridge. So it sits on the counter because when I do baking, a lot of it just is always unsalted, soft butter. So I am going to melt this over medium-low heat. 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. We're going to put this in after the butter's melted, and we're going to cook it down for a couple of minutes because you don't want to have that flour taste. Cooking it down will get rid of the flour taste. This will be thickening up our cheese sauce. So as soon as the butter melts, we're going to do that. We're going to make sure it's smooth. Then we're going to whisk in the milk. It's 2%. Whatever milk you use. It's going to be a cup and a half. So we'll get that ready. That'll be our next item going in. Then the cheeses. The cream cheese is only 3 ounces. We have a 1/2 cup of sour cream, which will go in after. The gorgonzola cheese, it's a little, it's a blue cheese, so it's a little pungent. So if you don't like cheese that's pungent, don't use it. Use something else. This goes nice on top of a salad. So the gorgonzola is a 1/2 cup. The cheddar is a cup, I do believe, yeah. Now, if you just go over a little bit, I mean, I wouldn't go crazy and go over a lot, but if you go over a little, no big deal, right? But I wouldn't go, you know, too much over the limit. So the mozzarella is a cup too. Okay, I got the flour in. I'm gonna whisk it up. So what you're actually doing with this butter and flour is you're making what's called a roux. If you use this, you can thicken up any sauce, even if you want to put this on a stew. This is how you thicken whatever you're making. Even puddings, they use this with puddings too, to thicken up the milk. So, and like I said, the reason for cooking it at least a minute or so, because you want to get that flour taste out. Because nobody wants to eat anything with that tastes like you're putting a spoonful of flour in your mouth. It definitely would ruin the whole thing. So we're going to just cook down this flour, and we're going to add our milk, and then we're going to start off with a nice thick sauce. And then as we add the cheeses, it will get thicker and thicker. When the macaroni's done, we're just going to add this nice sauce to the noodles. And then voila, mac and cheese. And then I am just going to, with a little bit of butter and some panko, just going to melt the butter and just put some panko in there and just sprinkle it on the top. So our water is boiling. We're going to add, right now these boxes are still a pound, 16 ounces. We'll see how long that lasts. Before you know it, your pound of macaroni will be 14 ounces, like they did with the cereal. I just want to get that stirred so it's not sticking to the bottom. So it's going to be 2.5 cups of milk. And continue the whisk while you're pouring your milk in, because it'll start to thicken up, so you want to make sure you don't have any clumps. Here we go, we just want another 1/2 cup. I'm going to check on our macaroni. I check on it because we don't want it sticking to the bottom. Especially once you pour it into the hot water, you want to make sure you do give it a good stir, because let's face it, it goes all the way down to the bottom, it sinks, and then it just adheres to the bottom of your pan. There we go. Okay. This is onion powder, salt, and pepper. So we're going to put that in now while it's going. I want to give that a good stir in there too. We just got to bring this up to a boil before we add the cheeses to this. So I'm going to make sure it's on low, medium low, because you're dealing with milk. You don't want to scald it, so just be careful when you're dealing with milk. The funny thing is, you can make mac and cheese, like gourmet mac and cheese. You can get all these fancy cheeses and make it, and the kids look at it and say, ugh, I don't like this. And your face just drops, and like, I went through all that to make you mac and cheese. You know what it is? They have to eat the Kraft mac and cheese. Oh, it's amazing. Restaurants now carry just the Kraft mac and cheese for kids. I know, because we used to do that. We had the best mac and cheese. Not that's what the kids didn't think it was. I was just like stunned. But it is true. You give them that box or the little things you put in the microwaves, they're happy. Oh, I have a mac and cheese. I don't know what you're really having, but I guess, no. They like it. I guess it's an easy thing to do. You're in a rush. I gotta be honest, I've used it. I got those mac and cheese in my pantry for my grandchildren because I ain't fighting with them. So right now we just keep stirring. I'm just gonna keep checking my my noodles here so they don't get all stuck. You want to do it al dente. Al dente really is just, you want to have a little bite. You do not want to have mushy macaroni noodles or mushy spaghetti. You don't want to have mushy pasta at all. So al dente is really, you just have a little bite to the spaghetti or the noodles or whatever. And it turns out better that way no matter what, especially if you're adding it to sauce or anything like that, because it tends to continue to cook anyways. Never shut off your pasta and just leave it there, because it's still in the hot water and it's still cooking. You may think you stopped the cooking process just by shutting off the flame. No, that's not the truth. You walk away from that, let it sit there and come back to it, you're going to have mush. My arm, usually when I'm doing anything that needs a lot of stirring, at night I sit there in my chair after I've washed all the dishes, because this ain't no Food Network. My arm just starts throbbing. It's like, oh man. Yeah, what a day. Oh yeah, this is starting to thick up nicely. So I did tell everybody I was going to be making mac and cheese, and they said, oh, good. I said, no, I have to feed my crew. They're going to eat it. You're kidding. I said, I'll make it again, no big deal. I said, well, the kids don't like it. My daughter, Christine, she says, I don't care about the kids. All right. So when my daughter did this, she had it was like she had to make like 4 recipes, because it was, I don't know, maybe it was a graduation party, I'm not really sure, birthday party, but the kids, everybody that was invited actually thought that was the greatest thing. We've also did a taco bar too. That was fun. So, okay, so now my sauce here is at a boil. I'm just going to lower it down a little bit. And I am going to start adding the cheese. Ooh, the fun part. I'm going to put the cheddar in first. And I'm going to put the sour cream in. Cream cheese. Gorgonzola. So I have all the cheese in there now. The mutts, the cheddar. Look at that. Now, that looks so yummy. I'm going to melt the butter. I just want to get the panko, the crumbs ready, because we're just going to sprinkle that right on the top. So you're going to melt the butter, and then you're going to put the panko. I like the panko because it's crunchy. It doesn't get as soggy as breadcrumbs, so panko is nice. Usually stays a little crispier. You know, people are using it. They've been using it now for a while, but when it first came out, it was like, oh yeah, let's get this panko stuff. Now, it's just old news. So I'm gonna put a little more than a half a cup. Then it's time for the facial. So I left some pasta water actually in the pot. And I'm just going to add the noodles back. Okay, my panko is toasted. Look at that. Will, look at that. Now we're going to mix it up with the macaroni. Oh, I can see the gorgonzola, the little blue specks in there. Ooh, that's the one I'll be like going after. I've done that many a times. I'm not thinking, grabbing the whole pan and like, oh no! There we go, look at that. Oh, all that goodness we're gonna get. Now, gourmet, call it whatever you want, but this is not Kraft mac and cheese. And I'm not knocking Kraft mac and cheese, because my grandchildren love it, but I can honestly tell you, this is not. now I have everything all set up on my family table, but this could be on your family table. We have the mac and cheese. It's all set up, ready to go. We have ground linguiça, peppers and onions, sausage, and bacon. I mean, who doesn't like bacon, especially on their mac and cheese? To go with this, and you can put anything on your bar, it doesn't matter. You can have 2 different mac and cheese with different cheeses in it. That's great. Also, to top it all off, you can have these desserts. Now, these desserts are just as simple as pretty much the mac and cheese. All it is a can of pie filling, and this one's apple, and this one is blueberry. You can do cherry, you can do peach. You can do whatever you feel like doing. I use yellow cake mix, you can use white cake mix, you can use spice cake mix. And what I did was I made my own caramel out of sweetened condensed milk. This is very easy. You take the label off, you put it in a crock pot, you lay it down, cover it with 2 inches of water, and have it on low for about 8 to 9 hours. Take it out. Do not open it when you first take it out, because you'll be wearing caramel. It's an easy thing to do. This is what it looks like done. I opened this one after I had it finished, and what I did was I just warmed it up so it'll be like more pourable. But you can use the Hershey's or whatever pouring caramel. So first I'm going to show you the dessert because, well, you know, I'm going to go for the dessert. You're going to go, you got the cake, you got the filling, you got everything. You sit down. I'm going to go with the blueberry. It's nice and warm. I'll tell you, it's nice and hot. It's beyond warm. You got the little cake. Now at this point, you can put ice cream, whipped cream, or both. You can drizzle it with your caramel that you made, or you can just go ahead and put the whipped cream on it. This is delicious. Use any fruit you want. Oh, it would be nice with ice cream. But don't mind if I do. Enjoy, have fun with it, and put this on your family table.